right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. Today on the channel, we're going to be running, after some delay, Coyote and Crow. And this will be the beginning of, I hope, a campaign, or mini campaign, or a set of adventures. And I will not be running tonight, but instead it will be BJ Boyd of the Arcane Alienist. So take it away, BJ. Yep. Who do you want to go first?
All right. Good to be here, everybody. Tonight, as Carl said, we're playing Coyote and Crow. This is a game set in an alternate historical timeline where the Western Hemisphere is never colonized or explored by Europeans. And so imagine a near future, kind of a science fantasy future where the indigenous people in America's develop their own technology, their own science, and things like that. So we may be a little rusty with the rules as we try to jump back in this after it's been a while since we made the characters. The main mechanic is you're rolling a pool of D12s. There's a target success number. All you have to do is is a net one success to essentially succeed at what you're trying to do. But the more successes you get often build up to, you either gain more information or have slightly better degrees of success. And that's it. In a nutshell, I think it'll clarify for everybody once we get into the game. Why don't you guys remind us all what your characters are?
All right.
Carl, let's see. Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Yep, so I'm playing
Carl.
Wakasi.
Okay.
Wakasi is a...
What is he? I
don't even remember. What happened? I don't know what happened. You lost me?
No,
I'm here.
we're waiting for you to explain your character.
Oh, I was trying to, but I guess no one heard me. All right, well, it's Wakasi. He's a warrior trail defender, Path of the Bison.
All right, cool. Arlen, tell us about your character.
Yeah, hi, I'm playing Fitzy, who is a Path of the Raccoon, and he is not a warrior. He's definitely a lover, not a fighter.
That's fine. And I'm Amy, and I'm playing Olata, and she is a curious seeker of the Path of the Spider, and she's a drone operator.
Okay.
Very cool. Okay. You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, okay. There's all of the sort of ornament to get
BJ, we cannot hear you okay anymore.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know. I'll pause.
I don't know.
No.
We have you guys' character descriptions, okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so your characters are members of the Siyata, which are in the city of Cahokia, kind of the law enforcement, investigators, security personnel of the society. Cahokia is this large city in the central part of the continent. There are many tribes who have amongst the population. It's sort of a central hub of these. Again, the kind of the middle part of the continent. And we will go from there. You guys ready?
Ready?
Yeah,
Tonight's adventure?
Yeah.
Okay.
The historical site is...
tonight's story, adventure, involves a festival. They're featured of what's going on in music, dancing, and things. So some things to maybe be aware of for you guys as players. If you're not, much like today, as people regale the drums, flutes, things like that. Am I still coming?
Coming in and out.
Now he dropped. Jeez.
Pause it again. All right, you're back.
Where do I need to start?
Festival.
Festival.
How much of that did you guys get?
I heard festival and then
Wow,
cut out
okay.
and then drums.
So we've got a festival. Okay. So much like with in the kind of the real world contemporary setting for indigenous people, the regalia.
Oh, I lost him again.
Handcrafted. Some of them are family. They're passed down from generation to generation. Even ones that are newly constructed or handmade, if not by the person wearing them or using them, might be a gift from a relative or a close friend. And so there's a
Oh, we can't.
so as members of the Siyata, you are kind of new members. You're rookies, and you've been assigned to help be present and lend a hand to the Ten Maki, which is an annual festival held just outside of Cahokia. The festival is very important to the community, and so historically, this is a festival that has started. It's been going on for several generations. It was particularly started because there are so many different tribal groups present in Cahokia. This is a sort of an intertribal or intercultural ceremony that's meant to bring everybody together and ensure that there's exchange and relationships and good harmony amongst all the different various cultures and groups that are present in Cahokia. And so you've been asked to report to a slightly senior member of the Zayata, Zadina. So she is coordinating sort of some of the activities for security and safety around the festival. And this is her first year, so this is kind of the first big assignment for her. And so they've assigned you to help her out. And that's where we get started. So.
Okay.
So there's this large stage. There's tents all set up. Obviously where the performers will be preparing, but there also their tents of people, trading jewelry and goods and food and all kinds of things you see at a large festival. So you see there are volunteers moving around. There are people already starting to show up with families to enjoy the entertainment. And so you approach this woman, Zadina, and she notices you come up and waves you over. Says, "Oh well, thank you so much for being here. My name is Zadina. We've got a large. This may be the largest festival we've had in a while, so we're looking forward to things going well. But we want to make sure everybody stays safe. So mostly, unless something really just comes up, we need the Siyata on site to just walk around and make some routes and check on things, and then you can report in anything you find or intervene as is appropriate. But you can always get me on the Neezy, which the Neezy are your personal communication devices.
Okay.
So if you see anything dangerous, suspicious, reach out to me. I have my ear out the whole time, so don't hesitate to call me for input or guidance or just to report, what you're seeing. The first thing I need you guys to do is to head over to the food area and check in and see how things are going over there. And once you kind of made your way there, then go over to there's some where the performers have their regalia and their clothing and are preparing to take stage for performance, and that should bring you on a circuit, and then you can come back here. Sound good? Any questions?
Sounds good. What are we expecting, or what? Do you expect any trouble?
Not really. The festival usually goes off pretty well. The one time we've ever had trouble, there are some people who aren't in about the harmony, who think maybe we're flying in the face of tradition, but it's never any more than just sort of, mild protests or people, shouting a few things that they're not happy about. Never any violence or anything like that. Some of the performers do have some pretty enthusiastic fans, so you might want to be out, keep an eye out for that. But I don't expect anything really difficult or dangerous.
Okay.
Sounds good. Do we need to sample the food first? We don't want to serve something we haven't sampled.
You do have to take that up with food vendors, but I'm sure they'd be happy to give you a taste.
Well, I heard there's some fresh fry bread and the I can't remember the name of it. The berries that you spread on top. Yeah. I think I might need some. I might actually have to buy some. Am I allowed to eat and walk around and do my job?
Sure.
Okay. Because, yeah. Might have to buy one of everything.
Okay.
So I guess we walk around to the food.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, all right. So the grounds of the festival seem generally peaceful. It's kind of late afternoon. There are several pockets of attendees kind of starting to spread out blankets. And they're, enjoying, chatting with each other. Kids kind of, running around, playing games, laughing. As you get closer to the food, you can smell the smell of smoked meat and grilled corn, and the vendors are already completing their setup. Some of them started handing out food to some of the attendees and probably some of the performers as well. You see a large stall that says with a sign that says Makacha's Blessing. It's the largest one, but there are no lights. The sun is it's starting to get late afternoon, but there don't seem to be any lights or power on at this particular place. There's an old man behind the counter who seems to be struggling with moving a large box.
Well, Holata would go over and try and help. Ask him why the lights aren't on. Does he need any?
So, at first, he doesn't really. He kind of sees you out of the corner of his eyes. Like, wait, I'm not quite ready to. And then he looks up. And he's, oh, Siata. Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Jay. This is my tent.
Yeah, can I help you? Looks like.
But I don't have any food ready. I haven't been able to get the power generator set up yet.
Would you like me to take a look for you?
Well, I'm not supposed to be moving heavy things like this. My wife would be fed up if she knew I was doing this on my own. But I gotta get these people fed. I've got. Yeah, do you mind giving me a hand?
I don't mind. She would do her best.
I've got 3. Okay, I've still got 3 power generators around back. If you could help me move them around so I can hook them up.
Oh.
And then I can get all this. I can start cooking.
Absolutely. Why don't you stay here, and if you tell me where they are, I'm sure I can figure out how to put them together for you.
Okay. So they're around to the back of his stall. He's just got to move them around into the work area so that he can get them started and plug his equipment in.
Okay, she would definitely go out there and start moving them in.
Yeah, and he'd be like, he says they're not super. They're kind of a bit for one person. And he kind of looks at at
Wakasi.
Wakasian's like, well, maybe not for him, but for most people, it's a 2-person job. Not difficult. It's just they're kind of unwieldy and heavy.
Well, I will definitely do my best to get it in for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go try to help.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Fitzy coming too?
So if you go around the back of the stall, you can.
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. You can see the 3 power generators on the ground with their cords kind of wrapped up around them. And like I said, they're heavy objects, but you should have no problem working together to move them around the corner and into the stall.
Okay.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. So we could do that for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and plug them in for him, they're not. I mean, it still takes a little bit of a. It's not just super obvious, but you can probably figure it out if you want to give him a hand.
Oh, absolutely. I'm assuming as we were bringing them
So
in,
you
we
can
were
make
plugging.
either. Yeah. So hooking one up requires either a computers, a cooking, or a survival check.
I have computers at 6, and my cooking and survival not so great. So I could do the computers.
Computers probably.
Computers. What should my success number be?
8.
Okay. And there are no active abilities that can affect this roll. Okay. Nope. 3 successes.
All right, so you got 3 successes. Very good. Okay. So that's 1 generator down.
Woo-hoo.
2 more to go.
Okay.
So, this old man Jay, he kind of wounds in there and hooks up a second one. So there's just 1 left.
You want me to roll again, or? Or do you, Arlen or?
Yeah, or if you want to, or someone else.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just the carrier guy. I don't think I have.
Okay.
Computers,
Yeah, I
cooking,
think
Yeah,
you
but
might-
computer's not great for me.
Okay.
Oh, I have
All right. Yeah.
critical failures.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, you're not able to quite. This one's a different model than the others. It's not quite the same.
Yeah,
So
we'll
it's taking you a second to
figure it out.
make a straight up. Let me see here. Let me look at your character sheet real quick. Just make a straight up.
Is this a scout or what?
Intelligence or intellect? Yeah,
Intelligence.
just an intelligence. I
Okay.
think you could just click on your intelligence.
Right. Success number 8. Total dice 4. Okay. Nope. I am befuddled by this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. That should have been. I'm sorry. I should have lowered this
Oh.
success number on. That one should have been a 6. So you did get 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So you notice this thing has something attached to it that doesn't look like it belongs there.
Okay.
So you can make either crafting, science, or skullduggery. If you want to try it, or if anybody else has science or skullduggery.
Oh, I got a lot of skullduggery. Let me
Okay.
do this one.
Yeah, you.
All right.
I got crafting war clubs.
It's just it's just a general craft. So you can all roll your best. See what you find out.
Oh, let's see.
Skullduggery, success number 8.
Yep.
No extra dice. All right, let's do that. No, terrible.
Oh my gosh. Let me see if there's
Crafting.
something.
Wow,
skullduggery.
9.
You said crafting, skullduggery, or survival, or
Crafting, science, or
Oh,
skullduggery.
okay. Well, science is the best one I have out of that, and the success number is 8.
8, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's no way she was getting that
All right.
one.
Carl, can you make a crafting?
Crafting roll.
Yeah.
The rest of those I have 2 in. So
Is that just which one do I hit? Do I hit the total? The box, right?
the total box, yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Hey.
Yay!
All right.
Carl got it.
Crafting. What does crafting with 1 success tell you? This is an explosive device.
Oh,
Oh, we should probably.
we should run.
Well, can we remove it?
Oh, wait. She found one of these generators is an explosive device.
The thing attached to it.
It's got an explosive device attached to it.
What would disarming be?
Let's see. Character. Let's see.
I've got good range.
That would be
weapons and
science
power.
or computers.
I could do computers.
Science or computers but it would be a success number of 10.
10.
It's a little trickier than your default.
We will give it a try. Yay! She got it.
All right.
Well, that's
Fortunately,
that's not
able
normal,
to
right?
Disarm it.
What's
Did you
not-
increase your success to 10?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you got a 1 success.
Sure.
Okay.
This is not normal, though, right? I mean,
All right.
To have
For
that
a bomb?
Yeah.
No. That's
Wow. Okay.
I put it back down to 8. 'Cause,
I guess we should tell our guy or
well,
the guy we're working with.
yeah. Why don't you give her a call? And I've disarmed it. I'll put it over here. Probably best not to let the gentleman know that it was rigged until we find out what they want us to do.
who's going to call Zadina?
Who knows her the best?
Well, I'm assuming you're calling her while I'm disarming it, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of you know her.
Well, I could call. I'm pretty charismatic, just so you guys know.
Okay.
yeah. You're the face
All right.
of the operation here.
All right. So she's like, yeah, what's going on?
I guess we should have discussed what we want to. Do we want to just ask her straight out about
Well, I would.
the explosives, or be a little more cagey?
We could be a little cagey, but we do need to let her know that we found it. We don't know if they were specifically targeting this booth, but
Yeah, we should let her know that we found this device.
Oh my. Can you? Well, is it active?
Halada is in the process of disarming it.
Okay, well, just make sure you get everybody out of the area while she disarms it. Can you send me a picture? Can you take a send me an image of it?
yeah, Arlen, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I can, take
Yeah,
a
that's just a
picture.
straight up smartphone kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so you've disarmed it. All right, good. So it's disarmed. All right. I'll well, I mean, is there anybody suspicious hanging around that you see?
I didn't see anybody. We were carrying the generators in.
What is that? We can look around. We're working on the generators, and
You guys don't see anybody. Seems out of place.
Yeah,
And she's like, "Well, I'll send some other people over to retrieve it and make sure it's taken away.
Yes, please.
Sounds like a
Thank
good
you, thank you
plan.
for doing that.
Hmm.
So
I guess we ought to talk to the
So
stall owner.
Jay
and
is
make
very-
sure-
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, oh, we're what's going on? He's still kind of like not exactly sure what you're doing because you just sprang into action.
Well, that last one was a little tricky to plug in, but I'm sure Thirsty here can explain it to you while I, make sure it's plugged in correctly.
Yeah, you can hook up the generator now without any problem.
Yeah. Arlen, do you want to calm him down?
Yeah, in fact, I have a special thing that can be good for calming people down. I have my ability that allows me to force a person to be calm for 10 minutes of calm per success. And they also are more susceptible to fast talk, basically. So
Okay.
let's do this. All right, I will spend 1 mind and 1 soul and roll. And I hope that I set this up correctly. Let's see.
Yay, 9 successes.
Oh wow!
Oh dang.
Gosh,
So for the
He's
next
calm.
for the next 90 minutes,
calm.
or if he rolls 9 successes on his will save, basically, he's going to be doing what I want.
Okay. Yeah, he's calm.
Maybe too calm.
That's good.
He really just wants to know what's going on.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
happened?
there's something freaky deaky going on. One of the generators had explosive attached to it.
Really? Which one?
Yeah, the last one, Halada looked at it and said, "There's something freaky deaky going on. There's an explosive on
Mhm.
here." So,
Okay.
yeah, you know anything about that, buddy?
No. How did it get there?
I don't know
Well, that's what we're wondering.
who else has had access to this
But,
item. Where'd they come from?
I don't know. Some of my nephews helped me unload it off the truck, and then they took off for the festival. They've just been sitting back there since, but I don't think it was on there when we unloaded it.
Any of them with a strange, sulfurous smell to them recently? Smell like cordite or something? No?
No.
Well, anybody else who might have access to them other than your nephews? Like before,
Not that I can
earlier?
think. I mean, there've been people moving around all day, but nothing out of the ordinary.
True, that's true.
You'd expect.
Yeah.
About this time, a couple other Seata come jogging up. Like, where is it? What happened? Everybody okay?
Yeah, we're fine. I think we need to do a sweep of the tents with the generators to make sure there's nothing else stuck there.
Okay.
But while
All right.
these guys are talking to him, I want to look around the rest of his tent and see if I see anything, extra footsteps, anything out of the ordinary, maybe even on the outside. If it looks like maybe the generators had been moved or anything prior to us moving them.
Let's see. That would be investigation,
Okay.
and I would set it at a 6
I
success.
don't understand.
'cause
6 successes. Investigation. Investigation. 2. 6. Alrighty. I keep forgetting to look to see if any of my equipment works with it, but it does not. So. Ooh, 12 successes.
Oh wow.
I am
Yeah.
so successful.
So-
I am one with the grass.
Yeah. So nothing else seems out of place, and there are, of course, places where you can notice, footprints and signs of passage, but they're kind of crisscrossing and all over the place because people have been out here for a while, setting up tents and displays and moving equipment and supplies around. So
She would definitely be documenting it with photos. But then I think she would go.
your drone flying around.
Mm-hmm. She'd definitely be looking to see if I see anything suspicious, because I don't think anybody knows what we're doing, but definitely have the drone up in the air.
Okay. All right. As you look around and make sure everything else seems to be in place, I'm assuming you report that back to Zadina.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's like, okay, well, if once you're kind of sure the area is safe, go ahead and head on over to the dressing area, and complete your route.
Okay. I think I would definitely have the.
Anything else you guys want to do? He gives you guys some first taste of the food he's prepared. You're the first ones that you get a bite of it.
Oh, Holata's excited. She would definitely have her drone up in the air, kind of looking before we even get there, because we don't want people to know we're coming in case they're doing something suspicious.
Yeah. All right. Well, the sun's starting to set over the festival grounds. People are starting to kind of find places to get ready for the performances.
Okay.
So I would, I'd make sure my drone's light is on so that we could see well enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can kind of, if you have it look ahead, it's just from above, nothing seems to be too out of the ordinary. So as you approach the area, you kind of get into the staging area where the performers are at, and you see a group of people up ahead, and there are two men that are arguing with each other real vehemently.
Okay.
It looks like they're about to come to blows.
In the festival,
and they're the other two are trying to they're in the performers area, like the staging backstage area. So the other two are trying to pull them apart from one another.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think what Gassi? I think you're up. you're the big guy.
Well, we should try talking to him first, right?
You could try first, and then.
Hey, fellas, anything going on?
All right, so the one's going, I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe that. You know how important that is to me. And the other guys, I didn't do anything. You're crazy. So they're kind of ignoring you and continuing to again, they're each one has another friend like, hey, back up, trying to keep them from going at each other. One of the guys that's trying to restrain them looks over and says, "Oh, help! Great, we could use some help here."
Definitely.
oh, what's going on?
So, the guy's got to back off, and he says he destroyed. He broke my drum. It was my grandfather's drum. He broke it. And the other guy says, I didn't do anything.
Hold on.
These guys are, if you kind of ask them who they are, these are, this is the Hanagazu Drum Circle. They're a well-known group of drummers. And I guess one of them is accusing the other of breaking his drum. They're kind of new. They're not from here. They've kind of come in for the Cahokia for this festival, but you might have heard of them.
Yeah. I think Holata would leave these two to deal with the guys and go look at the drums herself. Because she's thinking, we just saw an explosive, so did somebody sabotage the drum? So she wants to go check out the area.
So you can do investigation, tracking, even music.
Her best
Would be useful.
I think her best is investigation. And then the target number is the success number. Is it a 6, or you want me to move it up?
It's the regular 8.
8? Okay.
Do either of you guys have tracking?
The scout might.
Well, I have tracking too, but I got 6 successes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Investigation. So, okay, there is a camera attached to a nearby light pole that was surveying the area.
Okay.
It is not one that's supposed. It's like not a. It's not supposed to be there.
Well, Olata would definitely go over and see if she can.
And you can with that many successes, you can also just by looking at the camera figure out it's got a public feed basically that you can pull up on your own easy.
She would definitely do that.
It shows someone in a shawl taking a drum from a bag and then returning it and slipping it into another bag.
So they stole.
And you can also tell that the shawl, it's unusual because it's summer, and so it's warm. This person, there wouldn't be any reason to wear a shawl like that to keep warm. It seems more like they were trying to make sure that they didn't want to be recognized.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Or
So
they have a fever and they're feeling
I take it back. I'm sorry. The camera is there. It's a regular security camera.
Oh, okay.
But you can pull the information up pretty easily and see what was going on over the last several minutes, and this is what it shows.
Well, I think she would go back and show it to Thisty and see if he wants to show the guys the video feed, because he's better at talking to them.
Titsy will say with his trademark wit, well, they could just have a fever. They don't necessarily have to be, trying to avoid identification. And then I'll look at the two musicians that are going to come to blows and say, fellas, we've got some, evidence of what went on. Let's look at the tape together and see if we can figure out how things went down.
Let's see that in instant replay.
Yeah. Did the refs make the right call? Nobody knows until we look at the tape.
You can see that it's obviously his drum. The skin of the drum has been punctured. But the reason he thinks, let's see, sharp cuts.
The reason he thinks.
I missed something here. Give me a second. Said. I thought I missed a piece of information, but I'm thinking of a different part of the adventure. Okay.
So just sharp cuts to it.
So they're everybody's calmed down, and this guy Nathan he's upset, obviously about the damage to his drum, but he apologizes to the other guy. The other guy is like, "Hey man, it's okay," forgives him. Yeah, puts a hand around his shoulder to comfort him, and it's like, that looks like that could be repaired. No problem. Why would somebody do that?
Maybe the fever went to their head.
So Nathan says, someone was pretty aggressive when I came to the festival. When I showed up this morning, they yelled something about ruining the Cahokia traditions. That's not our drumming.
Oh, who was doing that or saying that? You remember who they were? Or?
Just somebody I passed in the crowd that saw me coming in with my bag over my shoulder.
Can Holata put her drone up in the air and see if she can't, by moving it around, see if I recognize anyone with a shawl that looks like what we saw?
Not immediately. Is anybody got somebody make a tracking roll for me?
Okay.
With the 6, because you can use the footage from the camera, kind of gives you a little bit of insight. So
I only have a 3.
I have a 6. What do you have, Carl?
What skill? I didn't hear that.
Tracking.
I don't think I'm a good tracker. I got a 4. No, I got a 6.
Okay, so you have a 6.
Go for it, Carl.
Go for it.
Okay.
And your target number is 6 instead of an 8.
Okay.
You got 4 successes. Look at you go.
Okay.
Why did Why does it say Olata up there?
Yeah, that's weird. Oh well.
I didn't roll it.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird. I have the wrong character. No, I had Wakasi open.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Bizarre. I don't know.
I don't know why it says that, but
okay.
Anyway, so there's you can see some small footprints around where the bags had been stored. They're smaller than any of these 4 men who are part of the drum group. In addition, let's see, you notice that the tracks lead away from the bags and back to the area again, consistent with what you saw in the footage. And then if you follow them to a group of bushes, there's a small knife kind of tucked under the bushes there. Someone's abandoned.
Make sure we get that.
And then it looks like they're headed towards a dressing area. So between the tracks and the footage that you were able to get, you can kind of get a sense that this person probably headed towards the dressing area.
That's not good. I think we. Okay, Tristy, do you want to call that one in to let them know?
Yeah, we call that one.
Yeah, we ought to let the boss know about this one.
It's like, oh, well, go check out the dressing area.
We're already on our way.
All right, great.
Okay, so I guess we'll head over that way. I'll put the drone back up in the air.
And I'll head that way as well.
Okay, good.
All right. So you've got the dressing area is a huge tent set up at the end of the festival grounds. It's full of clothing. You see, the regalia and the outfits that they wear, as well as just sort of stage. It's not all dancing regalia. Some of it's just nice costumes for the stage for singers and musicians. Most of the singers and dancers are already outside, either performing or queuing up for the stage, and hanging out. There's still 3 dancers in the tent, kind of getting dressed. They're kind of chatting as they get dressed.
I know I definitely want to look around the tent first and see if there's any cameras that I notice.
Okay.
And if there are, I would want to.
You don't notice any here in the tent.
Okay. Are there any on the outside of the tent?
No.
Okay.
Let's just ask the dancers if they saw anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, did you see anyone come through here before us? Maybe if you do we know how long ago the footage was, presumably?
It would have had to have been in the last 20 minutes.
All right. Did you see anybody come in here before us like 20 minutes ago?
Well, just the performers coming in and out.
Anybody wearing like a shawl?
Let's see. No, not that I could think of. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, make a charm or coercion roll.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Regular
that's
success
not a
8. BJ, regular difficulty of 8.
Yeah, regular. Yeah.
All right.
good job.
Nice.
5 successes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, wait a minute. Yeah, a stranger, somebody I've never seen before. One of them says, came by the dressing tent earlier and dropped off a shawl in the back. After they left, there was some shuffling noises I heard outside, and the dancers went out. Some of the other dancers went out to look. They said the stranger was headed to the door that leads under the main stage.
Okay.
And one of them goes, "Oh! I thought. Now that I think about it, I know who that was.
Who was it?
It was. What's that person's name? Hinagazzi.
Hinagazzi.
Yeah. I thought I must have, just how some people, they look like other people. I didn't think that's who it actually was at first, but now that you
wait, Hinagazzi, the person we're supposed to talk.
This is Hinagazzi is you guys would probably know this since you're from Cahokia. They're kind of a political, social commentator that are known to have very isolationist leanings.
Okay.
That there should be, that the tribe who was here first, this should be their Cohicas for them, and all these other people who have moved in. Shouldn't be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Olata would say, I think we need to go check under the stage, guys. Because maybe...
Now you guys are starting to smell smoke.
Coming from under the stage?
No, wafting up from the back of the tent, kind of where they said the shawl was dropped.
Okay.
Well, you know what they say about smoke and fire.
Well, yeah. You look up to see where you can actually start to see, fire flickering.
Okay.
And it's starting to spread.
How close is water to us? Obviously, we want to get people out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we have 2 choices. If you guys want to go start getting water, I think she would probably try and take, maybe there's a blanket there or something to start trying to...
make an investigation check with the 10 target.
With the 10 again? Okay.
Do we not have like an actual fire service that can come by?
Yeah. If you can call, you can tell Zadina to send a firefighters.
Yeah, I had 1 success.
Okay. You can see a fire extinguisher. It's kind of cramped in here where they put in all these clothing, but you can actually you notice one that you can grab.
I'll grab it and start using it.
Okay.
Unless one of the 2 of you wants to, she can hand it off to you.
Well, we can look for, you said check for people who might be
you
trapped or something.
Yeah, it's just the three people, these three dancers in here. So if you
Yeah,
usher them out, they'll
usher
yeah,
them
they'll-
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get them out of there.
All right. Okay. So because you notice that fire extinguisher, you're able to put the fire out pretty easily. Some of the clothing are damaged, destroyed, but most stuff has been preserved.
Good. Good.
So
Okay. I wonder who.
It's probably the same person that has been sabotaging things, and I still think we need to look under the stage.
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the investigation check also tells you that the shawl was doused in something flammable and was probably set on fire.
Okay. Yeah, but that might have been a delaying tactic, unfortunately. So we should hurry to under the stage, I guess.
Hurry
Okay.
on. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm assuming that we're texting the
Ironically,
boss.
Ironically, the delaying tactic was made by an accelerant.
That's fun. That's funny.
That's
There
your
you go.
bad dad joke for the
Yeah.
day.
It's
All
funny.
right.
I'll tell you a quick dad joke. My kid is involved in drama and speech and debate. Tomorrow night they have a little showcase where they all do one piece.
Mhm.
And I said, "What are you doing your piece on?" it's like a oral oratory on procrastination. And I'm like, "Oh, you're
Mhm.
finally getting around to that."
It's funny.
That's funny.
All right. Okay. Under the stage is a dark hallway. When the dancers show you the door that
Mhm.
this Hinagotsi went under. Under the stage it's a dark hallway, barely lit by floor lights. It ends so you go through there. Are you going to try to be stealthy, or are you just going to charge in?
I think we try to be stealthy, yeah.
Yeah, probably stealthy, but
Okay. Everybody make a
Stealth.
is stealth a
There's
skill? I'm still learning. Yeah, stealth.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just your default 8.
8.
Okay.
In fact, it is dark, so I will go ahead and say you can make it a 6.
A 6? Thank you. Because I only have a 4. Yay, I got a success.
Did it not roll for me?
No, it did. You're
Yeah,
at
it
the
did.
top.
Well, Cassie at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a ridiculous roll.
Yeah, you
I
got.
roll.
5 successes on 4 dice.
Yeah.
I have 1.
Yeah.
Oh, because you got a critical.
Yeah.
Whenever you roll a 12, that's a critical, and you get to roll a critical die to see if you get another success. So.
Yep.
Um,
And then it's weird, right? It's like, yeah. Oh, okay. That's what happened.
all right. So yeah, you're all, and we would treat this like group success as long as the majority of you are
Mm-hmm.
successful. You can, it's a group thing. All right. So it's under the stage, as I said, there's a dark hallway. There's kind of lit by floor lights, but it's still pretty dark. So if you move carefully and quietly, you're kind of sneaking down the hall. The hall ends in a circular room under the center of the stage, and in the very middle is a kind of a petite Cahokia, which you would assume is Hinagotsi. And some of you again may actually recognize Hinagotsi because they are a political figure in the city, and they are fiddling with a large box. They have a pack on their back that seems to be full of electronics.
I don't remember if my drone had something on it that could interrupt them. Let's see.
I mean, I have like a regular bow. We snuck up to him.
We could try the talkie-talkie trick that I did earlier.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'll have my little sling, my max sling, ready in case.
Yeah. I'll be ready to charge if he's intractable.
Okay.
Okay, you're up,
Think-
Tristy.
Yep.
We got your back.
Yeah.
Hey, Nagasi, how's it going? And then as soon as they turn to look at me,
So
I'm
if
going to hit them with the smile.
If you're not here to help me, you should go away. I'm trying to preserve. Cahokia, go ahead and make your roll. We'll see if you're able to cut him off mid monologue.
Only 2.
Okay.
So
what does that do?
So the way it works is if they want to act violently for the next for part of the duration of the effect, which is the next 20 minutes, 10 minutes per success, they need to use their will stat to roll as many successes. I think it's probably that you could counter, like if you rolled a 1 success, you would only get 10 minutes of passivity, basically.
Let me find.
Oh, and I need to subtract
stats.
my.
And I will. Let's see.
And they're also more vulnerable to my talkie skills, like I said before.
Let's see what we get. Okay, 3 successes.
Boy.
Is that how it's supposed to work according to the way the thing?
I think so. Yeah, it's just the normal against 8. Yeah. So yeah, I think that they have thrown off, guys. I don't think that they're feeling passive.
Yeah, they are. Get back to this page in the adventure.
Wakasi, are you?
Anyway, yeah, you tried to interrupt the mid monologue and it doesn't work. If you're not here to help me, go away. I'm trying to preserve Cahokia. If you come any closer, I'll detonate this bomb immediately.
Well, nobody wants that, so let's just talk it out for a minute before anybody does anything rash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you kill a lot of innocent people, that seems kind of against your philosophy, generally speaking.
What does it matter if we aren't who we are? If our identity is completely diluted, what's the point of anything?
I mean, you're going to dilute the identity a lot faster if you kill a bunch of people who live here and they get replaced by people from somewhere else, right?
Oh, there's still plenty of Cahokians in the city that aren't here.
While he's talking to him, can Holata get near that bomb and start dismantling it?
No, because he's got like his hand on the detonator.
Okay. Sorry,
but you did still. So even though they negated the magical effect of your thing, you still got a pretty good charm roll there, right?
I can. I'd have to do a real charm roll.
Oh, okay. Do a real. Charm roll.
Okay, so yeah, so I think the way it works is they're not under the effect of my thing, but
you can still
presumably I can still do normal until they decide to become violent and not listen. I could still do normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a charm roll just to implement.
All right. Rolling skill charm. Roll.
4 successes.
Oh wow. Okay. It's like surely you must see that we have to preserve. We've come so far through the ice, through the darkness. Why would we survive all that simply to fade into nothing, to lose our culture and our heritage? Okay. Characters can attempt. Let's see. Oh wow, you got 1, 2. Okay, you got some critical successes there. Okay, well, that seems to, let's see, how is this working on it?
If he has his hand on the detonator, is there
Mhm.
anything that's coming off of it, heading towards the stage, that maybe she could interrupt it a little further down?
Or is like it just strapped to his? He's
Just
gonna
make
blow
your,
himself up. Or,
yeah, what are you gonna try, Arlen, you gonna try breezing with him?
Yeah, I'm just trying to talk them down, be like, let's, talk about this and see if they're willing to, step away from the bomb or even, potentially disarm it. And we
It
can.
kind of, it doesn't drop the detonator, but it does lower his arm, like he's listening to what you have to say, for sure.
Okay. Well, let's, nobody
See
be
if they're-
hasty. I'm just,
got their attention.
we can talk about this out. There's all sorts of ways that we can talk about this that don't involve bombs going off.
right.
Pretty good to avoid that. So I want to, because I want to ask them about the drum, stabbing the drum and damaging it.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, what's that about?
That I wanted to stop them from going on. They're that's not our drumming. That's it's different. They come from somewhere else.
Well, but I mean, surely their
I want to
cultural
show
tradition
I want to
is-
show everyone that this festival, if they can have their cultural tradition back where they come from.
Mm.
I wanted to show everyone here that this is not a this is a doomed endeavor to bring everyone together like this.
Why do you
I mean-
think it's a doomed thing?
Surely they'll blame it on each other.
Let's see.
About that. All I'm saying is that you seem to suggest this is a doomed endeavor, but it kind of seems like it's only being actively doomed by one party and everybody else is doing just fine.
But while he is talking to
Itzy?
Hinagasti to kind of keep him talking.
Mhm.
The other two of you can, if you would like, make cooking, farming, herbalism, adversity. We don't have a history skill so much. I guess it'd be a knowledge. Make a knowledge check.
I have a 4
Yeah,
in
mine's-
knowledge. And
mine's
what is it? A normal success of 8?
What knowledge?
I have 4.
Did you say you have a specialty in knowledge?
I do not.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Yeah, just a okay. Yeah,
An
just
8.
both of you can make a knowledge. Yeah, with an 8.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
3
I wa-
successes.
That's good. I only have a 2 knowledge, so
All right. Carl, go ahead and try it as well.
well, I only got
Well,
a 2.
You never know. You might get a critical.
Okay. Or I could critically fail. I got 2 successes.
Yeah, you could. All right. You notice that the device that they planted here. Let me. Where did that go? Sorry, I lost my place in my PDF.
Oh,
Give me
no,
just a
that's
second
okay.
here. You can edit this lag out. Amy.
That's okay. No, I was looking at my gifts and burdens, and one of my blessings is the first time that I make a coercion, charm, deception, or investigation check against another person, the difficulty is reduced by 1.
Oh,
I don't know that I've done that yet, right? I don't think so.
I think your investigation has had like this kind of suspect in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done an
So have you-
investigation check on him yet. I was doing it on other things, not.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it
Um,
says against another person. I don't think I was doing it against him. Sorry, I was just trying to remember all my little skills there.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, nasty confrontation. Trying to remember the name of the.
The only other thing that Holata can think to do is to ask him if he wants to meditate with one of you guys.
Okay. Oh yeah. So the you can tell when you look at his device or their device, you can tell it's been designed in a way or superficially in a way with like symbols
Mm-hmm.
that might maybe kind of survive the explosion. You know, when people come around to investigate, that would implicate the Tiswak Alliance, which is a different group in a different part of the continent that are sometimes there's kind of a currently at peace with the freelance, but there's sort of a history of conflict and not exactly close, trustful, normal relations. And so the conclusion, you as a Suyata who might investigate stuff like this, you know, if you didn't know all this is going on, your conclusion might be that the Tiswak had done this instead of this person.
Right.
Mm.
I think Olata would ask Tristy to ask him why would they try to blame it on somebody else if they're doing it supposedly in a righteous thing. Why didn't they take credit for it then?
Well, it's easier to have everybody else the infighting, and at some point, in the name of self-preservation, the Cahokian leaders will cast everybody out.
I mean, it's not really self-preservation if the threat isn't real, right?
Yeah. Does Wakasi have any kind of intimidation?
I would hope so. Carl, do you have intimidation?
Any what?
Intimidation.
I might.
I think it's coercion is the skill
is it?
for this game. Yeah, I think it's charm, coercion, deception are basically the three.
Yeah, it's about a
skills.
5.
Go ahead and give me one of those with a 6 target number.
6.
Yep.
He's successes.
Okay. All right. So you've kind of I don't know so much that you've reasoned with this person, but they kind of see that the gig is up. You've got distracted them enough. It's clear that Halata has caught on to his intentions, and then there's this big burly guy standing over there that looks quite capable of breaking. This person is not a very large person, so it's like, you could probably take him in a fight. So they seem to be kind of their resolve seems to be wavering.
Is it wavering enough that I could start disarming the bomb?
Probably if you might be able to just walk up and grab the detonator out of their hand.
Right. Grab the detonator, but she also wants to dismantle it. Is that
Okay.
Computers again, or?
Probably, yeah, either computers. Yeah, computer, same as the one before. This one's a little more complicated, so you're looking at a target of 10.
Okay. And hopefully she doesn't mess up. Yay, 2.
All right. For your smelling. So up at this time, the other, the Zadina and some other Sayata arrive.
Yay.
Okay.
She will make sure
So
that...
you basically,
Sorry. She'd make
you
sure
basically
that it's
kinda-
completely dismantled as best as she can. And she would have them take him out before she removed the remainder of the pieces, just to make sure everybody else is safe.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hinagasi just sort of puts their arms out to be, cuffed and led away.
Oh, well. Okay. We should ask them if there's any more plots and plans, though.
No.
Who put you up to it? It seems as though this is not just only your idea. There has to be somebody else that was helping you and making you take the fall for this.
No, I did this all myself.
Olata is having a very hard time believing this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Can we
sure
tell
there
if
are
he's
others.
lying?
He doesn't seem to be lying. I mean, there are probably other people who sympathize with him, but he didn't necessarily mean he's got any co-conspirators.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, if we've done that much, what else do we have to look at? Because he might not have other people there, but did he damage anything else we need to know about, or is that another booby trap?
There haven't been any that Zadina says. We'll send out. We'll keep looking around, and you guys can continue to, if you don't mind, poke around and make sure everything's safe.
Okay.
See if there's anything else suspicious.
Sounds good.
Uh,
Wakasi.
Hopefully, with some patience and some time, maybe with some time and some patience, we can change Hinagatsi's mind about this.
I think with some meditation.
Still, they're going to lock him up, but
well,
Yeah.
obviously, but
try to
reform them.
Maybe we can find someone that can reason with them and get them to see that whatever they believe this is the way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
But that was exciting, she says. So, if you could please, you've obviously done enough, but if you don't mind looking around a little more and be available if anything else comes up.
That sounds good. She'll put her drone back up in the air.
Okay, so the festival proceeds. There's no other events, but you are invited backstage at the end to meet the main headlining act, the Keith's Knees musical group, singing group. So, say a few days after the festival, everyone gets a gift at their doorstep.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Get a pair of beaded moccasins,
Ooh, fancy.
handcrafted as appreciation.
That's fun. I'll have to put that under my belongings. Beaded moccasins.
All right. So I have a question then. It's not a conventional. I mean, of course, violence is always on the table, but that was not kind of a conventional adventure role playing resolution. What do you guys think? Was that anticlimactic or was that fun?
I thought it was fun.
Interesting.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, why do we need to have a combat if this doesn't seem
Yeah, I think Coyote and Crow definitely falls more into the storytelling end of the role playing game spectrums, where it's the any resolution is a resolution. It's kind of up to you to decide. It's not, like I said, you've always got physical intervention, but you've also got charm and skills and strategy. So
you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that Native Americans kind of shied away from violence.
It's interesting. I mean, of course, it varies from each culture to culture, and I think a lot of times we get a snapshot of and it's not like indigenous people never went to war with one another. There's never any violence, but culturally, like most cultures, there's sort of sanctioned violence and unsanctioned violence. But I think sometimes we get a snapshot of this idea of Native Americans as this warrior culture because we're viewing them through the lens of the Plains Wars. At a time when particularly the Plains tribes who maybe did have a little bit stronger tradition of sort of raiding and skirmishing with one another on an ongoing manner, are suddenly in conflict with the cavalry and settlers moving in. I think Arlen, when you reviewed Coyote and Crow, that was, or not Coyote and Crow, Fool's Crow, which I think you did a kind of a review of on Live from Pelham's Wasteland a couple of weeks ago. Kind of it shows that same conflict, but from the perspective of the particularly the Blackfeet. But again, those cultures, the Blackfeet and the Lakota, and they had ongoing skirmishes and would steal horses from each other, and there was violence and stuff like that. But generally speaking, just violence for the sake of violence, and it was I think frowned upon. Again, I'm not an expert on Plains cultures, but that seems to be the from what I've learned from my friends in those cultures, and certainly the southeastern cultures, also had their periods of war and conflict with each other, but also periods of using peace and trade and diplomacy to settle conflicts or to live in coexistence. So, probably not any really more or less violent than most societies on a day-to-day basis. But certainly, I think today, if I think the way Native cultures are today, certainly there's an emphasis on trying to coexist peacefully with one another and with other people, in the culture, outside of the culture.
Yeah. Because it seems like the Native American culture is very inclusive and, welcoming and.
Well, certainly, I think inclusive of members. I think that you'll see today, particularly some people who are very protective of because our cultures have been exploited and co-opted and misrepresented, and so people are very, very protective of how others use their knowledge or acquire knowledge, particularly ceremonial knowledge or deep cultural knowledge that would be considered sacred. But as far as being just generally inclusive of, hey, we're all part of the same community, we all need to take care of each other and live together, that is kind of a particularly very contemporary Native way of doing things, I think. Certainly in cultures that have a broader notion of who is family. It's your blood relatives, your close neighbors, your close friends, people you grew up with. And ultimately, all creation is family. And so, violence is a last resort. Aggression is a last resort. The first instinct is to try to see one another, eye to eye and live peacefully. So, yeah, I mean, it is. I guess you would say, the resolution of this is very, in a lot of ways, Native, but I don't know how that tracks compared to your typical kind of more Western informed action adventure role playing game.
I don't know. I prefer a non-violent resolution to things.
Yeah, we do that in Traveler a lot. I think, Carl, don't we? We find ways around conflict. So.
Absolutely. Well,
thank you guys for playing. I'll get another scenario together and we can play again in a couple weeks.
That'd be
Everybody's
fun.
Okay.
available.
Thank you, and thank you, Arlen and Carl, for playing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carl, do you want to say the catchphrase?
I was gonna say,
Uh-huh.
Amy, one thing
Uh-huh.
it just popped into my head. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, it's
something that in Cherokee culture that and I think this isn't just Cherokee culture because we have similarities, but somebody who had a lot more cultural knowledge than me once explained to me that you've got the white way, the white path, which is the way of peace. And oftentimes when that is depicted, like in belts with wampum, you'll see this white stripe down the middle, and there's a thinner red stripe on either side, or sometimes thinner, maybe the same way, that represents the warrior's path. And the idea is that even the purpose of the people on the red path, the warriors, are to protect and preserve the white path of peace. So again, it's kind of violence is sometimes necessary, but not preferred. The preferred path, outcome is a peaceful one. So
Oh, that's really cool.
there's a little another cultural nugget for everybody. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you. It'll be fun to play again. So,
All right.
all right. So, good night, and Carl.
Rolling.
And